the full A-team crew
pretend
here
like
tonight.
I know what I'm doing.
We all do.
Yeah.
I said I won't pretend like I know what I'm doing.
You won't. I will pretend like you know what you're doing. I think you do.
It said time. I was like, there's still time on the thing.
We're good. No one called us out for being late. We're good.
Yeah. Can they even actually be here? If you're here, blink twice, listeners.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have 15.
All right. We are back, all three of us, for the first time in a while. So that's kind of fun. Dallas has been all over the place. So looking forward to hearing about his adventures. And first, though, got to thank the Kubota Dealers of South Dakota for their continued sponsorship of Jackrabbit Illustrated. Really appreciate it. Actually was able to get out on Friday with my BX 2680 and move some gravel in my driveway and level my driveway out here, get it packed in before winter comes. And that was good. So if you need something for your yard, acreage, business, farm, whatever it may be, stop into one of the Kubota Dealers of South Dakota and they'll get you hooked up with what you need. So thank you. All right, Chad, how you doing, buddy? You doing all right?
I'm doing way better than I was yesterday. I was a walking zombie all day yesterday, and this fat kid was like, a chocolate bar in the dash of your old Ford pickup on the east side of that. Oh my God, I was melting.
It was hot.
Bacon grease was coming out of me everywhere. I paid for that stuff. Some of it was maybe Hadrick Ranch, tallow.
Some tallow, yep.
Go with some rendered tallow. I rendered it down,
Yeah.
It was 73 degrees, and I kid you not, it felt all of 90. I put on sunscreen, thank the Lord.
Yeah, Dallas, was it hot where you were?
It was a night kick, so it really wasn't bad. There was a weird biblical-esque swarm of bugs that came through right before kickoff. It was very strange. No one around me seems to care, so it must have been normal in Missouri. But no, weather was good. It was gorgeous.
Okay, awesome. Well, good. Glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
Good. Show sponsors Hadrick Ranch. Man, I'm so happy for Troy and his family. Their beef is everywhere right now, it seems like, and just blowing up. We are lucky to have them as a sponsor. If you need some good South Dakota raised beef with lots of marbling in it, super tender, juicy, flavorful, go to hadrickranch.com. They get bundles there that they can ship to you, or they can make arrangements for delivery, whatever it may be that you're looking for. Really excited about the product Hadrick Ranch has. So thanks, guys, for all you do.
I just ate some some smash burgers that my wife made with some of that Hadrick Ranch ground beef.
All right.
It is. And I know that we talk about them because they were a sponsor, but everybody, it is really good. It makes a difference. You don't have to be a foodie to appreciate it. It is so good.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Let's talk about this 50 burger that the Jacks put up.
50 butter burger.
Yeah. Have you had a chance, Dallas, to take any of it in yet?
I did not take a ton of it in. I listened on the drive back from Missouri today. So I watched a little bit of the game before all the recruiting stuff started. Caught the post-game pressers on the way back, a lot of recaps. Didn't watch a ton of it, though.
Okay.
It sounds, but by all accounts, from everything I've seen, a lot to be appreciative of. It maybe started right away. I had a little bit of a question mark as I was watching of like, oh man, okay, we're going to put this team away. This is going to be amazing. And then, oh shoot, okay, they're coming back. This is the Mercyhurst that we thought they were. Honestly, I'm happy to say I lost some money thinking Mercyhurst was going to cover. And that has nothing to do with doubting us. It's the fact that they've played everybody tight, and it's the style of game that Mercyhurst played. We took care of that. Yep. And so that was wonderful to see. Happy to see all the carries that other running backs got. That was very cool. Happy to see that 28 guys recorded tackles.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
something like right. That. A ridiculous number. That. Yeah, that was huge. Really happy to see that. So no, they stepped forward, and then we can talk about the game specifically first, but we have to talk about Chase Mason at some point here specifically. My goodness.
Yeah,
we will.
So I think we can put to rest, if we hadn't done so already, all the questions about if Chase Mason's a Division I quarterback or not. He looked.
Was it? No. We were going to decide if he could transition from 9-man to 11-man first. Can we put that to bed?
Yes, that one can be put to bed. Yes, for sure. He just looks great right now. Full command of the offense. I wrote about this in Rants and Raves, but just Dan talked about it in the press conference. His ability right now to make the right decision on the RPOs is really something, and it's unlocking a lot in this offense. So really excited about him. Chad and I were talking before the show. There's still some accuracy things, or just I don't even know if it's accuracy, but it's timing with Alex Bullock specifically, where Bullock is having to make some really acrobatic catches and kind of contortion his body in a way that he doesn't have any opportunity for yards after catch. That's being very picky. That's being very picky right now. But hey, if there's room for improvement, that's maybe in one spot. So
it is. Yeah. Brendan did the math or looked it up for me. I listened to the late night show on the drive back today also, which, by the way, if anybody doesn't catch that, like, they don't go live until like 11:30 at night. I don't remember the last time I was awake at 11:30 at night. Like, I have no idea. I hated being up that late in college. But I listened to it on the drive this morning. It is a great Sunday morning listen. So if anybody has never checked that out, make sure you do that. But in that show, Brendan talked about the fact that some North Dakota State guys brought up how amazing Cole Payton is playing.
Yep.
Which he is. He's playing fantastic. Outside of the it's not Furman, sorry. Who's the quarterback that's throwing for 1 billion yards? Help me out here. Come on.
Who is it? Yeah.
I'm showing my Missouri Valley bias here by not remembering.
Is one of the guys out east? Is it Dixon?
It is, and he's throwing for like 1,200 yards. I mean, they can't stop anything.
Yeah.
It's going to come to me later. But anyway, outside of him, Peyton's having an absolute
Monmouth quarterback.
Monmouth, thank you. Monmouth's quarterback. Yeah, amazing year for them.
Robertson.
Yep, there we go. But anyway, the North Dakota State fans were talking about how they thought that the Cole was the front runner for the Walter Payton and looked amazing. And yes, he does. He looks great. But then side by side, Chase Mason has the exact same stats. Mm-hmm. Like, every single statistic you can look at, it's the same. And if we're going to nitpick, South Dakota State's got the 23rd toughest schedule so far, including everybody that's played FBS teams. Yep. And North Dakota State has like the 99th out of 130 teams. So, and again, I'm not knocking North Dakota State. They've done exactly what they need to do against lesser teams. This is not about that. I'm not saying like, oh, you should have played somebody. Like, no, they've done great, whatever. I'm just saying that Chase Mason needs to be in that conversation right now.
Yep. And it's kind of interesting. I think it was Sam Herder threw in Montana State's quarterback, Lampson, in that too. And he has about the exact same numbers.
Yeah.
As Peyton and Chase as well.
Yep.
So very cool just to see that. 3 quarterbacks who are replacing legends right at their respective schools.
That's a good point.
And they're being very successful in doing so. So that's pretty cool in its own right there. Defensively, I had a really hard time, guys, picking my defensive player of the game just because of that 28 guys with tackles.
Yep.
There was no one in my mind that like separated themselves like Colin McShane has done or Joel Ullman has done at times, or no 2 interceptions. I would have gone Miles Taylor, but he did give up the touchdown, on a phenomenal throw and catch from Mercyhurst there. So I couldn't give it to Miles, even though I wanted to. But man, like this defense, when they play like that, as a group, as a unit, subbing guys in and out, that's going to be a tough defense to do much against. Chad, what do you think?
If I had to give it to one player based on a single play, I'm going with Noah St. Juste for dodging that running back and then taking down the quarterback from behind. Yeah. That was an epic play. It doesn't get much better than that on the defensive side of the ball. Great vision with that play and blew it up. We did have another one. Who's number 8? Why can't I think of his name now? But on the opposite side of the ball, he had a great play as well.
Sure. I don't. With all the new guys on the team this year, I am struggling to remember names and numbers.
Me
like
too.
instead of just replacing, like 20 guys every year and figuring out number changes. Now it's like this 70 new numbers is just crushing me this year.
Reese was 8.
Yeah, Reese was 8, Chad. So
yeah.
You mean 9, Goring?
It was either 8 or 6. I'm blind. So.
Yeah.
Not 8.
Okay. No. Whatever. Yeah, we're asking the guy that can't see.
I can't even see ESPN on my giant 50-inch monitor.
Oh my gosh.
That has like a 840 by 680 resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to point out too, the young guys that stepped up yesterday really contributed. It was super nice to get Basinger a lot of touches and to have Juice not have very many touches, just for some of the wear and tear on him this season. He's had 20 plus touches, I think, every week besides this one. And that's a lot, over the course of a season. So that was nice for that. With Lofton Ogroski going down, sounds like precautionary, but getting Jack Smith in, Jack Smith looked great. Graham Goring looked great. And then Sammy Drezzy, finally got like his first catch and run too. And that was awesome for Sammy. So that was fun to see.
It was Jalen Lee.
Jalen Lee did have an awesome run stuff
Lee.
there.
6.
Yeah.
There
we go. Makes it kind of look like an 8. My bad.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I don't know. It was just really nice to see some of that wide receiver depth that I've talked about, coaches have talked about, Matt Zimmer's talked about. Just see them out there actually making plays was fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, can't add much to that.
No, it is. I heard in a couple places that started to come to fruition, and the stat line shows that. So, and it's great for to be able to see this coming into Valley play, and again, I'm going to call back to late July or whenever we first started talking about this, that the way that this season sets up, and we, or at least I, said, if you come out of the first 2 1-1, hey, we're in great shape, because again, there's a lot of new faces and an entirely new coaching staff, and this stuff takes time to develop. We've got a quarterback that is an amazing athlete that we know he can be a phenomenal quarterback. That takes time. All of these things are happening. They come out undefeated out of non-conference play. And then we still have, now I'm excited to talk about Youngstown, because this game is, I think, tougher than I thought it was going to be coming in. I really do.
Okay.
I've had a chance to see Youngstown play live. I think we talked about that once a bit. We can chat about that later today. But being able to get some guys extra reps the last couple of weeks, especially this week, the ability to rest Juice coming in to conference play, like that is huge, because we all know the Valley's a meat grinder. I mean, 7 teams in the top 20? Now there's going to be only 6 after this week, but still, there's some very, very good teams in the Valley, and here we go.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about just offensive line? Matt, I'm disappointed you don't have 11. Yeah, my bad. They probably wouldn't allow me to have it in the stadium, Darren. So I do want to talk about the offensive line, the 605 Hogs, just a little bit. So obviously we kept Chase clean yesterday. Very little pressure. I mean, I can think of maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times he got hit. Hardly any in the game yesterday with all those passes. The run game, though, still needs work. There's a lot of penetration, not just from the offensive line, but from the tight ends. And that interior offensive line, there's just some free runners coming through that just aren't even getting touched, it feels like. So just nervous about that we still are struggling to get guys to get a lot of, yards before contact going. Just our backfield is just messy right now with defensive linemen and linebackers cutting through. We got to get something going.
It's so interesting. So I had this thought before we went live. Everybody, we were arguing about kind of the ability to nitpick, right, where this team is at right now, and the I don't know if it's the juxtaposition, the change from where the uncertainty preseason to the first couple of weeks to right now. I think at least I And most of us at JI are fully on the, nope, this can be a national title team. That is the expectations we have, period. So to go from, again, like I made a joke on Twitter a couple weeks ago about, I didn't know, mid-January, I don't know if we were going to field a team this year. So this is a good problem to have. But yeah, there's definitely some question marks. And now going into Valley play, like you touched on, looking at some of the protection issues and some of these little things, if you're obviously North Dakota State, but this year also, now we're not going to see Southern Illinois during the season. I bet we see Southern Illinois in the playoffs. That is a very good team, everybody. Southern Illinois, the Salukis are a problem. All right, we're going to go to North Dakota. I've talked about them. That is a very good team and a great team at home. Like, it's all of these teams are going to abuse all these little things that we've gotten away with the first 4 weeks that have to be shored up.
Yeah. And I think, the thing is, like, we've been spoiled the last how many ever years with offensive line play. And we know what an excellent top-notch offensive line looks like and how dominant it can be. And I don't know, like, this just right now doesn't have that appearance. They're young, right? The 3 interior guys are sophomores, I think, or redshirt freshmen and 2 sophomores. So that's young. They're a little bit different body types than maybe we've had at our guards before. And so I'm interested in that. I don't know. It just, our tight ends have to become more consistent. We're looking at Kuntz hopefully coming back here soon. Coleman Kuntz, the transfer from Sac State, which is kind of an H-back, an H-back tight end type. So we'll see if he makes a difference for us in the run game. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the offensive line right now. Chad, you got anything? I know you watched the game back.
I did, and I think they played one of their better games as an offensive line. But like you said, there were times when there was holes and we were throwing the ball and we had a guy completely unabated to chase. He just got the ball off in time. And that's Mercyhurst. We can just assume that the Bison might have a little more speed. Let's not play with fire there. I think they just haven't quite gelled 100%. There's little errors here and there. Some of that's offside, false starts. We've had a couple of those things through the year. It's getting better. We're improving, but we're not a championship caliber team yet. And by that, I mean, like, I think if we go up against a championship caliber team of years past that won a championship, we don't beat them as of today. I don't think we can't not get there. We're just not there yet.
Absolutely.
That's the standard.
Yeah, that's completely fair. And honestly, no one should expect this team to be there. We've talked about that you come out of that non-conference, those first 2 games that on paper, well, obviously Montana State is a championship, a natty caliber team. Sac State, I think they're done.
We're not even going to call that a good win.
Unfortunately, it's really not a great win anymore.
Middle of the valley win.
But we didn't know. So, we had there's like a 6-week stretch, and we're three weeks into it, that we've got some time to get right going into the marker game. Now, again, next week, it sounds negative to call it a losable game. I mean, Youngstown at home can beat I will say anybody from what I saw. And we'll get into that later. But yeah, these are just the sort of things that have to be shored up. There's a lot to feel good about, though. I mean, I think we have more depth on the offensive line than I maybe expected coming in. We got a couple guys that we can rotate if need be. That was a big concern. So no, it's coming along. And then you look at just the production of the running backs through the first 4 games. That's great. And other than one game where, we talked about Chase took some sacks. Was that the Sac State game?
Yep.
And we talked about that. I forget the breakdown now, but if, half of those weren't on the O-line, he was holding on to it in decision-making, and some of them were even smart sacks to take. If I recall correctly. So this isn't sounding the alarm. This is just talking about, hey, this is probably the next thing that needs to happen.
Yeah. I'm glad Ben's here to bring this up. Our red zone offense certainly improved in the second half. But the first half, we still have a little work to do there again. We have some work to do. The penalties, we had the Alpers personal foul penalty right at the goal line that
Followed
backed
by
us
a
up
false
15
start.
yards. Yeah, followed by a false start, followed by a fumbled snap. Just a messy possession there. We have we have some work to do still in the red zone. Glad the second half we were able to actually punch it in. So that's good. Everyone in the comments here is talking about Casey Larson. So let's talk about Casey Larson here quick. I think Kevin brought up Casey Larson first, and everyone else is commenting now after that. He's a stud. He was originally, if you guys don't know, committed to Idaho. Dan's talked about him a little bit. Committed to Idaho. When Dan was going to New Mexico with Eck, he was going to go to New Mexico. And then he decided when Dan came to South Dakota State that he was coming to South Dakota State. So definitely a believer in whatever Dan Jackson's selling. And that's awesome. And Casey's going to be a really good one for us. Just a tremendous athlete.
And I'd say not to pull attention away from Casey, but that's exciting and should be exciting for fans. Well, the first time I heard that story, that a player committed to Dan Jackson, then committed to Dan Jackson at New Mexico, then 48 hours later committed to Dan Jackson in South Dakota. Like that's pretty cool.
Yep. So really cool. Excited for him. He looks great on special teams. Chad pointed out, and a couple other people have pointed out, that he did get knocked on his can pretty good on one of the kick coverages. But that's going to happen, right? That's going to happen. So
we're running hard.
Yes, exactly. So exciting future for him. That's the truth. So, all right. Before we get into game balls here, anything else to add?
Sorry, I was on
nope.
mute.
Okay.
No.
Kudos to Stater. Kudos to Stater for turning it around.
Oh, yeah.
We had the coaching staff obviously believed he was the guy. That's why they brought him in. That's why he got the extra chance. He proved himself, and I hope he continues to be the guy that we know he can be. Right?
Yeah.
And has proved to be in the past at a different level of competition, which really doesn't matter for field goals.
Yeah. And also, as long as we're talking about special teams, Max Pelham, sorry, man. There's a great chance you could be an All-American this year, but I don't know if you're going to get the attempts the way this offense is clicking. 2 games without a punt. But you're doing a great job holding, buddy. So thank you, Max Pelham. And then Ryan Harrington, guys. Dallas, you haven't seen him yet, but this freshman has such control over his kickoffs.
Way better than we've had in the past.
It's bananas.
Really?
It is bananas. Like he is consistently putting the ball right at the goal line, so the returner has to bring it out. Like not even a choice. And he's getting teams are getting tackled within the 20 every time. He's fun to watch. He just has so much control on these kickoffs. So.
I was going to say, we obviously thought we could stop them because we were kicking it to them right at the goal line.
Yeah.
Except for the one we did a pop-up that was apparently on purpose too. I wasn't happy with it, but you try it once.
Did we have a classic Stig pop-up?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Stig loved that.
But we only did one, right? I mean, if we had done it every time, I would have been mad. I said something to Brennan. He's like, just chill. We did it once. And I'm like, fine, we'll do it again. I'll really be mad.
It was so much fun though when those worked, when Stig would do those.
Yeah.
Just electric.
He would see, based on alignment, if there was a big enough gap, and he just beat it to death, and it worked.
Yeah.
He's quoting me. There's no quotes on there.
Brandon.
I'll take it. We weren't kicking it out of the end zone because we thought we could stop him inside the mark for the touchback. So obviously we did that quite a few times.
Yeah.
Can we pop up? Sorry, continue. Yeah, there we go. Pop up Ben's. Do you guys have anything? So Ben says, I have a little problem with the RPO. It's leading to slower handoff transition, and our O-line isn't good enough yet to hold long enough, basically for an RPO to develop. Do you guys have thoughts on that? I do not yet.
So
good thing we're not running mesh.
Yeah. Right. I've thought about this, and if this is maybe some of the issues with our offensive line too, because they don't want to get called for the illegal man downfield. you know. So I'm a little curious about that. I guess if that's part of the issue, I don't understand offense well enough to know. But I do wonder if that's part of the issue with the offensive line struggling and run blocking.
Have we been seeing our O-line get to the second level much, though? I mean, I can't recall really.
Well, that's what I
seeing
mean.
that.
Like, are they holding back because they don't know if Chase is going to pass it and they don't want to get that downfield call?
I guess.
I don't know.
So
Misunderstood that.
in this is very generic, but in talking about things offensively working and not working, I have said and will continue to say that Eric Eisnes is probably going to win us 3 games this year because he is in the booth.
Yep.
And we are at a point in the season where if I'm him, and God knows I'm not, he's making, you're still testing things and figuring out who you are and what you've got. There's a bunch of weapons, but you need to see what works with the conglomerate, with the group that is here and how they work together. And that's offensive line, like we talked about there. That's the receivers, that's the running back, that's everything meshing together. So there's probably less consistency in what we've been running right now than we're going to see in week 9. And none of us will ever know that because there's so much nuance to it. And it's so like we're gonna sit and go, "Oh, it was dumb. Why did he run that play?" That like because we don't know. Like I have no idea. We don't know what's going through their head. They saw the safety do something during that formation on tape, whatever. But anyhow, so what I'm getting at, what I'm rambling is that I have a feeling that some of those things, even if we saw us poking at some stuff that wasn't working right, either we're going to make a couple of adjustments to fix it, or we're just not going to be running that going forward. And we're trying a bunch of stuff because Eric Eisnes is the catalog he can go to is infinite. Like we could run any offense and like we could go any direction with what we have right now. And he's probably going to try, okay, this, one. Okay, now Valley play starts. All right, I'm taking this. All right, let's go. And then that's what we're going to run, right?
Well, and to add to that point, who doesn't think we're probably still adding plays since this is a new team, right? I mean, like a lot of people are new to this offense. We're probably still adding plays every week.
Yeah, I basically just want to continue to make sure that everyone is aware of general like fan ignorance. And I'm not ripping fans, but like we don't know. And if you ever listen to Kyle, like Kyle is really good at explaining this stuff because Kyle has a pretty good insight typically and can see a few more things going on that we typically don't get into the weeds to that level.
Yep.
With splitting hairs. But yeah, there's just stuff that things happen and we go, why did he throw that? What did this? Dude, you don't know. There's so much that goes into it. We don't know. So, and Rand.
Yep. Who else we got to talk about? Oh, Luke Crumptious. Sioux Falls Lincoln, first sack of his career. That was awesome to see. I really loved the clip that GoJacks put up of the Dan giving out the game balls or choosing the guys to lead the breakdown. Just the joy on his face, the joy on Sammy Drezzy's face, Jack Smith's face. That was cool to see. And everyone really wanting James Basinger, and Dan going, "You scored 2 touchdowns. That's what you're supposed to do. But you can get in there, James." So that was pretty good. I like that. That was good.
You can just watching clips, and I haven't been to a practice, but you can feel the culture continuing to build with this group and the family dynamic and all this stuff. And how cool is that it can survive from what happened with none of the coaching staff and half of the players. I forget how many remained after graduations and transfers, but that can persist and even potentially get stronger going forward. Now, this is a group that will continue to play for each other, and that's a cool thing.
Yep, for sure.
And they seem like they're really having a ton of fun doing it too. Like not just out there, but out there having a good time.
Yes.
Yep.
I want to point out Jack Smith. He got his first touchdown. I don't think we mentioned him straight away.
Sure.
Congrats to that young man. Yeah. He's obviously going to be a star. He's a star in the making. I don't know how much playtime he's going to get this year overall, but he's been good every time he's gotten the ball.
Yep, for sure.
Good things have happened.
And he blocks his butt off downfield too. So it's good to see him.
Yeah.
All right. Chad, you want to talk about Cubbies?
Cubbies Sports Bar and Grill, apparently, according to Brennan, has 800 trillion TVs. Anytime you look anywhere, you see a TV with sports on. It's your one place stop in Brookings for the best food and the best sports on the TVs. And you can go there right now and get a Hadrick Ranch game day burger, jacked up game day burger. Talked about that Hadrick beef that I had for supper. You can have that same ground beef at Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. Not only that, they got a great selection of beer and they make mixed drinks. So pretty much anything you could want in a game day environment. And they have they host the Dan Jackson show, which will be on tomorrow, and you can go watch that live. Get some food there and maybe some sweet tea or something, whatever you're gonna do. Dan Jackson always has sweet tea, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cubbies, they've been an excellent partner with us. And we can't say enough good things about that place because we all love going there and eating their food.
Yep, exactly.
30,000 TVs to be exact.
Perfect.
My bad. I was exaggerating a bit.
Perfect. All right. So thank you, Cubbies. Offensively, I went with Chase Mason, guys. Just a dynamic day, in my opinion.
Yep.
It's hard to argue that dude was slinging it all over and looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Like you said, we really had to nitpick to find anything.
Yes. Right.
I mean, if he continues to improve game over game as he has, watch out, because as Brendan was pointing out, he don't look that much worse than the other guy.
Yep.
Yep.
Defensively, I went with Kobe Claiborne. I hadn't picked Kobe yet this year. He had a beautiful sack, just some consistent pressure up the middle. He just has such a motor on him, and it's so impressive. He almost had the targeting penalty. I joked with the guys around me that it's not his fault. They're both 5'8". So,
I think the problem is he dipped his head just a touch, but then he also kind of pulled it to the side. When they showed the replay, you could see that.
Yeah.
He kind of pulled his head to the side. So I think that's why he didn't. Had he caught the guy on the lid, on the crown of the lid, he would have got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly the energetic leader on the defense. That's what you want to see out of a captain. He does a hell of a job.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed. Then special teams, I went with Casey Larson. He is fun to watch, folks. Find 44 on the kick coverage units right now. He is fun to watch. Could have gone with Eli Stater. Could have gone with Harrington. Chad, any other thoughts?
I mean, like I told you, I'm going to go with Stater.
Yep.
But no, special teams was great. No complaints.
Yeah.
And
okay.
It sucks we don't get to see how awesome our punter is, but it's also great to not have him out there. So
yeah.
Especially with no turnovers. I mean, Chase has been clean too. Knock on wood. Not that he needs me to do that, but he's taken exceptional care of the football, and that helps you win football games.
Yep, for sure. Score-wise, I'd say Tanner was probably the closest. He said 49-10. I said 42-7. Chad, you were 38-17. You got to believe in that defense, buddy. You got to believe, Chad.
I'll hedge my bets, and they can clip me. Go ahead, clip me. I don't care.
Yeah, honestly, Chad, if I would have been on, I would have been pretty close to that. Honestly.
Yeah. So
they had looked very good against similar competition.
Yeah.
I didn't want to discount their talent. Obviously, being road warriors takes a toll.
Yes.
I mean, look at us when we did that across the nation tour that we did a few years back in the playoffs. It wears a team down. It's hard to do that and going through, because they played in what? I think I heard they played in every time zone.
They played in every time zone. They did. You remember our playoff gauntlet of hell that ended at Montana State, playing in every time zone? Like, they just did that. So against playoff-ish teams.
Yes. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, they're hopefully, for their sake, their program's sake, getting some nice paydays out of this to help fund the program and the transition. But yeah, what a schedule for them.
It is.
They're probably looking forward to some bus trips coming up.
Yeah,
there,
agreed. And wish them the best going forward. I think that there's been a few typical powerhouse teams out east that have kind of flattened out. And there's been a couple that have jumped to the FBS. So yeah, there's a spot there for a new powerhouse team in that region. So,
yep. One thing before we move on to Youngstown, just want to talk about the entrance, the gate situation. Didn't want to distract from the game, so I didn't mix it in with that.
That's a B team thing.
It's a B team thing, right? So
last night Brendan said he was going to save it for us. Actually,
good.
Oh, did he? Oh,
so
fair enough.
It does need, like, something needs to be fixed. On the I can't speak to the west side yesterday. I was only on the southeast corner. That's where I came in. My family, we choose to go in. I have 3 little kids, so we choose to go in a little bit early, just to get in there. We wanted them to get in the shade for a while, just before we went and sat in the bleachers. So I forget. We got there, got in line at 1:20, and I remember looking at my watch, and we were in the stadium by 1:35, so not too bad. 15-minute wait for the line. Had to pop the ball cap off, like we've already had to do for the rest of the home games. Had to empty our pockets. It's weird, but it doesn't take hardly any extra time for most people if you're prepared. It'd be nice if they had someone, within 10 yards of that saying, hey, empty your pockets, be ready to take your hat off, whatever. They obviously don't have enough people for that, because, Chad, your suggestion is to open that other gate on the southeast corner, or open that gate that's on the northeast corner, that single gate, just to help alleviate some of the pressure.
Or even get more than 2 lines going on that southeast gate.
So I don't know what happened though, Chad, because when I went through, there were 4 scanners. There was 4 people scanning tickets. But that line, folks, went all the way up Jackrabbit Avenue, past the porta potties that are on that side by the parking lot there where people tailgate. So it was a long line. Like how long did you wait in line?
Boy, I didn't recount. It was more than 1 Busch Light, so it was quite a while. I wasn't paying attention to time because I was just sitting there drinking. So, I mean, I always bring a pocket beer just in case. I can chug it at the gate.
Yeah.
God, that is the most Midwest thing ever. You measure time in Busch Lights. I love that.
Chad. So I don't know.
I wasn't even trying.
I don't know what the solution is on the southeast entrance. More people maybe need to go to the west side and run in that, or get in that way. I don't know, but the southeast entrance does seem to be a mess right now with wait times, and it should be better. So
yeah. Like I said, they're doing something right. Some things right. By the time we got to the gate, they were basically shuffling people through pretty hard. They weren't even scanning tickets. She just made me show that I had 2 tickets. So that got us through there faster. But I mean, we got to do something. I think it'll get addressed. We took some pictures. I can send them off to some people and we'll see.
Yeah. And last year, I remember, was it the playoffs that they started to make people kind of undress a little bit, take boots off, like end of regular last season? Like
they did that. I think they switched. The whoever was running security, because that one company went out of business or something.
Yeah. So if we do, if we do continue to have these huge crowds and we want people to come to the playoffs, we have to give them an experience that doesn't feel like you're going through TSA, because no one likes that. So I really hope we figure out some better solution. And if we can't, we can't. But I just feel like there are some things we can try, probably. So
no, it's logistics. Something can be done. We can still keep everyone safe and get this done.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Youngstown. Dallas, you've actually seen these guys live.
I have.
Tell us about them.
I have. So I was relatively impressed with what I saw. They looked better than I thought they were going to be this year. Now, I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen a ton of the rest of their games, because they had some tight games with some teams that aren't great, and I do not know what factored into that. However, what I witnessed, I saw them play in East Lansing at Michigan State, and it didn't feel, they hung with them for a huge chunk of the game, and it wasn't a blowout. It was a 40-24 or something, like, and there was I think a late touchdown. So like, it wasn't something where Michigan State, ran up 50 points and then put the third string in or anything like that. It was a decent game. So I was impressed, honestly, with their lines on both sides of the ball, especially their offensive line. They have one tackle that is a behemoth. He's huge, but they could move guys. They could move guys. So I was impressed with their O-line all the way across. Their quarterback is shifty, everybody. He might still be leading the Valley in rushing yards. Bo Brumgard. It's close. I mean, I want to say he's got like 500 some yards of rushing. So he is elusive. It's going to be interesting what the plan is for the defensive line. This could be one of those boring defensive line games that I talk about where you pick a spot, 2 feet behind the guy in front of you. And if you're a defensive lineman, that's where you go and you stay there and you squeeze down and you don't chase and you don't create lanes because Brumgard he's not very tall. So if you create alleys, he's either going to run or it gives him an opportunity to throw. But if you are able to just be boring as hell and collapse the pocket and not get on the stat sheet, usually, unfortunately, it's going to be really tough for him to make plays. But he's good. And then even 7, I did not look up his name, but the running back is 7. He's got some pop to him. He's got a little juice too.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. He's got some juice too. And then on the opposite side, they've got their defensive line was able to cause some disruption. And it's always funny, watching FCS, FBS games because FBS, especially power teams, you look at all their position groups and they all look like they're out of the same cookie cutter. They get the body type first, and everybody is within an inch and within 10 pounds, and they measure the shoulders and the wrists and everything else, and it's just like boom, 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 all the way across. They all look the same. And the FCS teams are just the best athletes that they get at each position. So it's like mismatched socks kind of on the field is what it looks like. But they look real good. They had a couple of bigger guys, and I didn't get a chance to look at the roster, but a couple of real sizable guys on the inside that played nose that caused some problems and genuinely disrupted Michigan State. So I think that this is a team. I will still continue to call it, even with some of the closer games that they've had against lesser opponents, that they're going to win 1 or 2 games that they quote unquote shouldn't this year.
Yeah. And Brungard, I mean, I'm glad you started there because he is a problem. Early this season, he was using his legs. It felt like a lot more, 145 and 264 for yardage in the first 2 games. Michigan State held him to just 17, but then he passed for 242 in that game.
And so, they did not really try to run him in that game either, I will add.
Sure.
He has 526 is the exact number.
Yeah.
So you're pretty close there.
Yeah. 8 touchdowns on the ground. And again, he is throwing the ball well too. His good completion percentage this year. Only tossed 1 interception, and that's against Michigan State. So, we've seen from him maybe in the past some questionable decision making. Maybe he was a little closer to a 55% passer completion percentage, but and he's gonna test this defense. I'm excited to see what we do against him because we have struggled with quarterbacks who, like, their second reaction to bring it down and run have knifed us up in the past. So it'll be interesting to see what we do with this new look defense.
Yeah, and that.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, just look at what the third stringer for the Drake team did. When he scrambled like a madman, and they were getting some big chunks. So we're going to have to be able to shore that up and game plan for it a little better.
Absolutely. And all it takes with an athlete that caliber is one D lineman that gets washed a little bit too far upfield or thinks that he can make a move that he can't make a move on. And suddenly there's a gap, and he's gonna take advantage of that.
Yep. So very cool. But
the other, sorry, if I can, I guess keep going on just what I witnessed. The thing that, again, it's tough to tell against a Big Ten team, but I think that we can win matchups against their secondary, and that just call it gut feeling. Like I couldn't tell you if it's one specific safety or corners or whatever, but it really felt like I think that we can have an advantage there, and I expect Chase to have a big game and I expect us to be able to throw the ball.
And so far this year, they have allowed a lot of yards through the air, so that's not shocking, I guess. But looking through their defense, Mike Wells is a name I recognize, but otherwise, Ebony Curry Jr. I recognize that name. But man, again, they're still playing a 4-3, 4-2-5, like they kind of have the last few years. But last year, I remember one of the big things that they have struggled with was run fits. It looks like with maybe their new guys, they have some of that shored up. Guys just hitting the wrong hole in the past couple of years, allowing for big explosive plays. So if they have that taken care of, like this is a much different defense. So I don't know. I'm excited, Dallas, to kind of see these guys a little more, learn about Youngstown just a little bit more. Obviously, Tom Zach, right, on offense. He's a playmaker. Yep. He's still there. So, yeah.
He's been around a while. And this is a team, I'm definitely not going to stop. I'm going to stop short of saying I'm a Youngstown fan. But this is a team that we've talked about. I feel like the FCS is a better product when Youngstown is competitive. There's a fan base there that I think they've kind of drifted off a little bit. But if they can get hot, they can definitely do some things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a long, it's the longest trip that you're going to see in the Valley too. So that does matter, in how you perform sometimes.
Yep. Dallas, you mentioned on their defensive line having some beef on the interior. That Thomas Jolly, 95.
Yes, there we go.
He's 6'3", 305.
And he can move.
Yeah.
He's not just a stationary object that they place in the middle. Like he can move a little bit.
Yep.
If 305 is big, then I'm giant.
There are other.
Nobody said you weren't, bud.
Yeah. I mean, you're not as big as your tall cousin, but that's okay.
Oh, jeez.
And then their other defensive tackle, Colin Vaughn, 6'2", 285. So, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be the week we get the running game going.
I'd love to see. I mean, we're still all waiting for that dynamic. We had one for sure, pass to the tight end, and where the tight ends are heavily involved catching the ball. But I don't know. Maybe there's too many. We're spoiled with riches, and there's too many mouths to feed when it comes to passing the ball around. And I mean, we haven't passed the ball as much as we did yesterday before this, so maybe we'll see that going forward. I just love to see that, get them involved, and have them run the ball down the field a little bit.
Yep, there we go. Anything else?
I mean, we had one off the wall question from a Taco King for Dallas here. Brian Thompson asked if you'd seen most. He said you've seen most of the Missouri Valley School facilities. Is the grain bin USPS up in Grand Forks the nicest? Nothing to do with the show, but we need an off-topic question.
Oh, I like that. So let's see. What does USPS in that instance stand for? Not to be a dummy.
United States Postal Service, because their logo looks like the post office logo.
Oh, I've never heard anybody
refer to it as that.
That's funny.
Really?
No.
Oh, no.
Okay. That's funny. I'm like, that only means Postal Service to me. What does that mean? Oh, it does actually mean Postal Service. Cool. Okay. You know what? I really North Dakota's facilities, I think, are as good as anybody's. They are excellent. They're very, very good. We've talked about.
Are they the newest?
Their weight room is they have the biggest weight room, and I think I would say biggest and nicest weight room in the Valley.
Let's not do a commercial for them now here.
Yeah, they've got. I'm just the question came up.
I know.
No. Again, point to my. Anytime I brag up another school, I'll just point to my yellow and blue tattoo. But no, I was impressed up there. Obviously, North Dakota State does everything first class. We've been up there, seen all their stuff. I don't need to talk about that any further. And no, it really is, to me, it's South Dakota State, North Dakota are all neck and neck in basically everything. I would say that it's so odd. as a jackrabbit saying that the locker room needs to be redone because it feels like it wasn't that long ago that we got new locker room, but the South Dakota State locker room absolutely needs to get redone, which rumors have circulated that is occurring very shortly. And then at that point, I think we might be able to say that SDSU has the nicest facilities of the three and in the Valley.
All right. And isn't that crazy compared to your locker room?
Oh God. I've still got my dad and I both have the like 2x8 wooden benches that seniors got to sit on. Mine's in my garage. My dad's is like somewhere in the basement at the farmhouse. Those things were pretty cool. So yes, a little better than what we had.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Dallas, before we get into predictions here, you want to talk about Renegade?
Sure. So Renegade Regeneration is a supplement company that I've started with my family, and excited to bring supplements to really people of all ages, but all of us getting a little bit older, like myself, aging athletes. You don't need to be a competitive athlete. You don't need to do a ton, but paying attention to your health, paying attention to what you put in your body is important. Still just have my first product, Hydrate, working on a second product that will be released here probably late this fall. But if you want to go to renegaderegeneration.com, I'm going to actually run a sale this week. Have not started that yet. But product Hydrate, hydration powder, 60 servings in the container, great value. All the electrolytes that you need, very, very light fruit punch taste. Check it out, renegaderegeneration.com.
Awesome. Cool. Looking forward to that sale. Thanks, Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. Offense in this game. I'm going with Jack Smith. That's my prediction. Jack Smith is going to get a couple. Yep.
I like it. Oh, good.
No, go ahead, Dallas.
Oh no. Well,
go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to be super lazy. I already said Chase, and I'm picking Chase Mason. I think we're going to sling the ball all over Ice Palace, Ice Castle. I feel like an idiot.
Ice Castle.
Ice Castle. Good Lord.
Yep.
Get your life together, Dallas. Yes.
And it certainly was an Ice Castle that one time with Sumner out there. I'm going to go with. Can we go back to Juice? Give me Juice.
You think so? Okay. I like this.
I'm just gonna feel the air of the East that he's accustomed to, and run all over them boys.
Okay. I like it. All right. Before we get into picking our defense here, just got to shout out Northwestern Mutual, Chris Schenkel and his team. So we do know, right, that Chase Mason, good timing there, Dallas. Chase Mason is our athlete that we are supporting this year. Be sure to do the Lemon Top Challenge. Look up Jim Poppin on Twitter to see exactly how it's done. Jim has all the hashtags right and everything that need to be a part of it. And that's an easy $10 that gets donated right directly to Chase.
Per social media account, per post.
Yes, right. So very easy to do. But thank Northwestern Mutual for kind of being the ones to run that competition. And I've talked about my personal story forever. They really helped me out, get my retirement in order, get life insurance in order. And if you need to do the same, look up Chris Schenkel's team down in Sioux Falls with Northwestern Mutual, and they will get you on the right track and get you set up for what you need. So thank you, Northwestern Mutual. Defensive player, Chad, who you want to pick?
Kobe Claiborne.
Okay. Dallas?
See, I would not take a defensive lineman in this game because I just don't feel like this. Who knows? He could be player of the game any game, but this doesn't feel like a D-line type game to me. And as I was going through too, this is completely off topic. Did anybody catch how good? Sorry, I don't have time. Just a second. The Dan Jackson show. How good the interview was.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome on the mic.
Aiden Dotterman was so good.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I was gonna, I forgot. I was gonna send him a DM after I listened to that. I know that it's kind of weird to go back after a week is done, but if you did not listen to the Dan Jackson show, Aiden Dotterman is a phenomenal interview, and I really think we need to get him on to talk to him at some point here on JI.
Yeah,
Just
that'd be fun.
so well spoken. It just I don't know, just personality. Everything came through. Like it basically ended that. I'm like, I want to talk to this dude more and learn more about him.
Cool.
But that said, I think with the type of game that I would call defensively and really kind of limiting what the defensive line does, give me McShane.
All
MC
right.
Shane.
Yep.
That's his nickname, Darren Amex. I'm calling him MC Shane.
MC Shane.
He's gonna drop them beats.
I'm going Van Tol. I like
Nice.
his speed
Nice.
as and matched up against Brungard. So Chase Van Tol is my pick. Let's
That's
go Chase.
always a good pick.
Yeah. All right, Dallas.
UVT.
Score. What are you thinking?
Rude game.
The
Foul
constantly
game.
violent tackler. That's what CVT stands for. Everybody knows.
Ooh, I like that.
Constant
All
violent.
right. I think we can score some points against these guys. I'm going to go 38 Jackrabbits, 17 Penguins.
Ooh. Okay.
But again, this game, if we do not jump out and if a couple weird things happen, this game could go pear-shaped.
Yeah. Got to interrupt this score thing here because I just got a notification on my phone. I'm officially old, Dallas and Chad. It just got announced that
Welcome to the club.
that Bad Bunny is the Super Bowl headliner. Who the hell is Bad Bunny?
He's the guy. He's actually Hispanic, I believe. I know a little bit about him. He's got some songs that are on the radio that you
He's
would
got
know.
some songs that are on the radio. All
You
right.
would know. I can't tell you them. You're like, oh yeah, that song. I've heard it on the radio.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am familiar, but that is
He's
an
more
interest.
into the rap. He's more into the rap hip hop than we are, Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
But
so.
I like that, but I just don't really even know. I have no idea.
That's an interesting pick for sure.
Huh, he's the
Well,
caddy in the new
gotta-
Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah, he is the
Okay.
caddy, and I did know that.
That's
Okay, I
right.
guess
No,
that's
I did
true.
know that.
Yeah,
I
I
did
guess
know.
that I did see that. Yes.
Which
Huh.
I actually like that. I don't know why that show got so much hate. I enjoyed it. It was
did
what it
too.
should
Wouldn't
have
you
been.
like
Yeah,
it?
it was what it should have. I don't know.
Yeah.
They got nods to all the old stuff, and I thought it was
Yeah.
funny. The John Daly stuff was hysterical.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Deb. Oh, Deb debates. You are old. Even I have heard of Bad Bunny.
I was gonna say you're the youngest one of the three of us, dude.
All
I'm
right.
looking up his songs, and I literally don't know any of them. Titi Me Pregunto.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know what
Jeepers.
I know what that means in Spanish, pretty much, but I have no idea what song that is.
Yeah. Hey, in my defense, my commute time went from like 45 minutes one way to, 2 minutes. So I just don't have much time for the radio anymore.
No, it is an interesting conversation. I heard this on a podcast. Like, as you get older, it takes a lot of work to pay attention to music. And I don't know, it just isn't like, right? Like, it seriously takes
it
effort.
does.
Like, I try. Anyway, whatever.
I
All
got
right.
Spotify.
This
not
is
on the
some B team.
radio.
We're into some B team shit here.
B
now.
team. We have
We're in
garage
some
time.
Garage time. I listen to Spotify and I have to go to like New Music Friday to get anything new, and
Nice. Good for you.
I'm constantly going through it, going, "Oh, this is shit. This is trash." Sorry.
Don't use the Spotify DJ. It'll play the same damn songs
Oh,
a
yeah,
thousand
yeah.
times. That stupid Spotify DJ. It knows.
What's
when you
up,
listen to a song
Dallas?
oh my god. If
What's
you
up,
listen to a
Dallas?
song all the
Got
way
some of your
through,
favorites right now
Yes.
that you've been listening to lately. We're going to kick it off with Run DMC.
Yeah, you're in the top 4% in the world of listeners to whatever. That's because you've been playing it. Anyway, all right.
All right. Chad,
This is
Chad what's your
DJ
score
X.
prediction, Chad?
Sorry, I've used that same thing.
I hear it.
I don't think anyone cares, but I feel like we're gonna get in the 40s. So I'm gonna go 42 us,
Ooh.
17 them.
All right.
I like it. I think we can. I'm gonna give them some confidence because I didn't give them confidence last week. Maybe that's a bad juju thing, but prove me right. All right.
All right. I I'm gonna go 45-10. 45-10. That's a lot of points, but we can do it.
That is a lot of points. I
Yeah.
don't know. Watch them. I feel like they put up points in all their games. Again, they played some bad teams, but it looked like an offense that's going to figure out how to put some points on the board to me. So
Sure. Okay.
I gotta think they're pretty hungry to try and beat us, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They can really make a statement by beating us. Of course, they could have if they would have beat Michigan State, Sparty, but that's a little tougher hill to climb there, and I don't know that they. I mean, I'm sure they believed in themselves, but at the end of the day, if they lose that one, they have nothing to lose. So.
Actually, Chad, you made me think of something. I've got a quick question here as we're wrapping up. Do you think if you are let's say a non-Dakota team in the Valley, do you look at what happened in Brookings in January and say, hey, this is our chance to beat these guys? And does that increase the urgency to knock off SDSU this year?
I think a team like YSU that has had some of those guys stick around for a while, I think definitely, and as much as we want to say we didn't follow the Bison, we all know that's true. And they were the gold standard. And we, I guess, are the silver medal in that case, because we've also gotten to that level as well, but we're still chasing after them because, we don't have 9 titles, and it's going to take a long time to get to that.
Beating somebody 5 out of the last 7 games isn't enough.
Yeah,
when you've got that many titles. No, it is.
When all you can brag about is beating someone 2 games in a row, you're not quite there yet. You might be on your way, but you're not there yet. That's an accomplishment, sure. But if you go back and look at how many losses they have in the last 10 years and who most of them are to, that's us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. I never looked at it like that before, so I was curious what you guys thought.
So, seeing how we went into garage time there, I took us in there when I brought up Bad Bunny. Just got to shout out Wooden Legs again for the collaboration with the beer. Supposedly it is all gone now, but really thankful to everyone that bought the beer, and everyone that came to Fan Cakes when we were there and just helped us promote the beer. Really appreciate it. Plan to do it again at some point. Seth brought it up. Already thinking about next year for the beer. So I'm really excited for that. So thank you, everyone. Hopefully you got some if you wanted some.
I didn't get it.
Like it as much as
Dallas, I have some for you. I'll bring it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. If you ever make it to Brookings, I will give you.
I will. Hobo Day for sure. Probably Hobo Day and Marker. Planning on.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sweet.
Perfect. Awesome. Anything else, guys? Cool.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Garage time was how bad UMass is, but we can save that.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, thanks everyone for listening. Please like and share when this gets posted. Really appreciate it. Making a difference. So with that, go big, go blue, go Jack.
Go Jack.